Hey there, Capricorn, and welcome to your week of February 14th, 2022 General Tarot reading. We're going to be looking at your energy coming into this week, some challenges you might be facing, as well as some possible outcome cards for you. And we're going to clarify it all with an oracle message at the end. These are general readings, so not all of this may resonate with you, and if it doesn't, don't try to make that stuff fit in. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. So, you're all welcome here. Everyone's welcome to, cross-watchers as well, of course. Just know if you're cross-watching, it may get a little muddled up. And with that introduction out of the way, how you doing, Capricorn? Hope everything's going good for you. Well, let's start her off. We got here in your energy, we got Justice, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands here. There's a nice energy here of balance, right? Balance and harmony with the Justice card here, because we're definitely in a position of, like, you know, you're looking to do right, not just by yourself, but by others as well. Like, what is just at this time? And a lot of people look at justice sometimes as like a law card, you know, and it certainly can apply to law, of course. But with justice, I often think of it as more of like, what is the right thing to do for everybody in sort of like a moral sense, or in like a day-to-day, like what's right to do for this person at this time, that sort of thing. And that really lends itself with that Six of Pentacles as well, because the Six of Pentacles definitely talks about being generous. And sometimes you have to give a little more to some people because they deserve it more. They deserve like that. They need it more, right? They need the help more. This person needs the help more than this other person here. That's why they're receiving more pentacles than the other, right? And pentacles, of course, can represent money, but they can also represent your time, right? Just spending time with others, like your friends and your family, or other people who just need your help, like helping them out, like hanging out with them, spending some time with them. Maybe they really need that pick-me-up just to help them get them through the day or the week or whatever it may be here. So I like that you have this kind of energy going on here. And with the Ace of Wands as well, I feel like this may be something new for a lot of you. You're maybe taking this kind of an approach, or for some of you, you just have a lot of energy. So it's like we have a lot of time and energy here to burn. And it's like I'm definitely wanting to help people out at this time, which is great. Last little note before we get into your clarifiers for this is the Justice card is Libra's card, so you may have Libra in your chart, and if you do, that's awesome, because that means you're coming in a strong way. And you know, let me know down below if that's the case. I love to hear that. I love to hear people coming in strong. So let's see what we got for your clarifiers here, Capricorn. What do we got going on? We got the Four of Wands, that's very nice, the Emperor, lovely, and the King of Pentacles here. Fantastic. Really nice to see the King of Pentacles and the Emperor come out together, because the King of Pentacles is definitely, or all the kings are aspects of the Emperor, but the King of Pentacles especially is like the kind of hardworking aspect. And the one that is like generous, the most generous, as we're talking about with the Six here as well. So just very much you're in that hardworking energy. Again, you got a lot of it at this time with that Ace of Wands here, or you're just like, again, we're getting into that hardworking energy, really putting that time in. And with the Emperor, just really bossing up and quite balanced and mature as well. It's interesting that the Emperor is here along with Justice, because as we say, Justice is the balance for everybody. The Emperor is really balanced in himself because he has his masculine and feminine energy balanced out really well, meaning that he is quite the good person to be around, because he's not afraid to show a vulnerable side, right? As well as putting out a tough side as well. Like, he's not afraid to put either one of those out, you know, depending on what the situation is, like whether it's fair to be tough or fair to be gentle with someone, which is absolutely beautiful. And with the Four of Wands here, the Four of Wands can represent marriage. So maybe this is someone, the person you're maybe particularly helping out at this time is your significant other, or someone you intend to marry somewhere down the road. Or with the Four of Wands as well, it's just a card of happiness as well and celebration. So it could be just saying you're focused on making people happy and trying to make sure they have a reason to celebrate in their life, right? Because that can happen to us a lot, you know, in our lives, especially with the way the world is, how crazy it is. And the more you find out about how crazy it is, that it can be tough to sort of find happiness, right? And sometimes the best way to find happiness is just in those interpersonal relationships we've developed. So I'm liking that. That's awesome. Let's look at your challenges you might be having here, Capricorn. See what's going on with them. See what we got happening here, Capricorn. What do we have? We got the Five of Wands, we got the Page of Pentacles, and we got the Wheel of Fortune here. So luck may be turning against you this week. That'll happen sometimes. We have our ups and downs, our peaks and valleys in our lives here with the Wheel of Fortune. So that's just part of the ebb and flow of life. So some of you out there, maybe your luck's going to be churning a little here at this time. But I like to be a person who thinks in the mindset of I make my own luck. So, all that really means is you got to just churn it around on your own here. Maybe you need to adapt how you look at things here at this time. Maybe change what's going on in your life, or just, maybe take a step back and examine things and then come back at something with a fresh set of eyes or a fresh perspective. With the Five of Wands and the Page of Pentacles here as well, you may be dealing with a rival at this time. It's maybe someone else who's trying to pull this person's attention away, especially if this is like you're trying to start up like something new, like you're starting up a new relationship with someone, or you're starting up or you feel like this person really needs to, you really want to put in the time to help this person out, right? You might have someone who's really trying to draw their attention the other way here with that Page of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, because the Five of Wands definitely represents rivalries. It represents competition, right? You can see there's a lot of conflict between these five characters here, sort of slugging it out. And I feel like that Page of Pentacles, maybe that's the person you're trying to get their attention to. So that could be another earth sign, so yourself, another Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo as well. So maybe that's who you're dealing with. Could be anyone though. Of course, these are general readings, but those are the most likely signs. With the Page of Pentacles though, this person is maybe a little naive and maybe a little young at heart, and maybe that's why they're sort of having a bit of a tough time here, because they feel like they're kind of lost here when it comes to like the more complicated things, right? Because you're coming in as the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. And again, don't worry about gender, right? This is just energy you're coming out with here. But with this, it's kind of like you're coming at this with a sort of energy of like, you've been there, done that, you know what it takes. And maybe they're getting pulled in different directions, but like, hey, probably like that, some of that might be good ideas, but I'll tell you what's worked and let's prove it, because, I've worked with, you see like the success I'm having here. Maybe you should try this. Maybe that'll work out for you, right? And where you're both earth signs, that might synergize with them a little better, right? So I'm liking that. Just be wary. It could be a little, troubling trying to get their attention too, right? There is a lot of energy there, a lot of rivalries there for their attention, as well as with your luck churning a little here. Might be a little tough. But let's see if we can get a little more detail on this. See what's going on here. We got the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Wands here. Might be a bit, definitely with that Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords, there's definitely going to be some stresses and worries for you, because this might seem like really, I don't want to say dangerous, but it might not be the best path for this person to be going down, that they're getting pulled here with that Ace of Pentacles. Maybe they're kind of getting lured into this idea of like, oh, you see a lot of like cryptocurrency and like NFT stuff, right? And they might try to invest in that because it's like a get rich quick sort of idea. Not to say that, financial stuff is my forte, or I, recommend financial advice or anything like that. But just the idea of like that kind of stuff, I see a lot of that online where, if I see anybody investing in that kind of stuff, people getting turned around and getting ripped off, right? And it's not good. So maybe you have a better strategy, something that's a little more like, hey, invest your money in like this, or save your money, or do something like that. Whatever has worked for you to get you to where you're at now, right? And maybe just kind of tell them like, hey, that stuff's a bit more risk reward, right? And it's a really like, it's not a young man's game, right? It's a little more, you got to be more experienced, you got to be a little more cunning, right? And try and talk them in that kind of an idea, if that's what the situation is. If it's something else, the pentacles can represent money, but they can also represent physical material things too. So it could just be like, maybe they're thinking about buying a new car or something like that, or something maybe a little riskier for them here. And this, like I say, with the Ten of Wands, it can be a lot of, I feel like a lot of anxiety and fears and such. And with the Nine of Swords, a lot of like, oh my God, like this could be real bad. And you don't want to see that happen to somebody you care about, of course. So, I feel like just kind of try and get their attention as best you can, and try to lead them in the right path here. So let's see what we got, or at least make them aware. Oh, look at that. The Chariot popped out. I love it. At least make them aware of the dangers they could be facing, right? Don't send them in blind, right? Try to get their attentions that way. But we got, so far for your clarifiers, we got the Chariot. Before we get into the rest of your clarifiers here, doing something a little different. I've been adding a song of the week in the description below. So if you want to go check that out, maybe broaden your horizons on some music. I listen to a lot of different types of music. So you might hear something that you're like, oh, that's really cool. Or it might be an old song you used to like, right? But here we are in your energy for your outcomes. We got the Chariot, the Moon, and the Five of Swords here. Really nice here with the Chariot and the Moon. That's Cancer and Pisces cards respectively. So you might be dealing with one of those signs this week, or you might have those in your chart, in which case, much like the Emperor or the Justice card here, maybe those are in your chart, in which case that's really awesome. It means you're coming in a strong way again here. But with the Chariot, the Moon, and the Five of Swords, I feel like the Chariot's really saying you need to take action here. Like, you really need to go out. Like, the Chariot is the go-getter card. Like, really, like, let's go, let's take action, let's move forward here. And I feel like you maybe need to show this person that is like, maybe you need to show them that you need to take action and move forward, because there are a lot of unknowns in this sort of area that they're dealing with the Moon there. Partial illumination is what the Moon represents, because you can only see what the Moon lights up. You can't see what's in the shadows, right? And that might be what they're heading towards. Is they're heading towards something that you can't see. It's not something where it's like defined, right? It's not like, hey, this is a very defined situation where it's like, you know, investing in like I was talking about earlier about like cryptocurrency and stuff. You don't necessarily know if that stuff's going to go up or down or what the case is, right? It's like the stock markets, you know? So it's really kind of tough, whereas something more like saving your money or making smart purchases and things like that, that's something that's more definitive, and it's more like these are time tested, this works out, right? And so maybe that's something you gotta kind of approach them with here, and maybe try to appeal, excuse me there for that hiccup, try to appeal to that more practical side of them here. With the Five of Swords here as well, maybe just show them how good things have worked out for you by doing this strategy, right? Because the Five of Swords is kind of a card, it can be a card of domination here, right? This guy has soundly defeated these other two opponents. Maybe show them like, hey, like that stuff, maybe it gets you there fast, but the downside is if it doesn't get you there fast, it's gonna maybe do something bad to you. Like, there's gonna be some pretty negative consequences. So I feel like maybe for here, it's you kind of need to show them like, hey, look how well I've done by doing the practical things, by doing practical purchases, by doing, you know, practical investments, practical, you know, all that good stuff. If it is a money thing, or, you know, even just practical purchases when it comes to like your physical material world here, because that is very, very prevalent here in this reading. So we'll look at your clarifiers for this, and then we'll tie everything off with an oracle message to wrap this all up. So let's see what we got here for you, Capricorn. See what we have. Hopefully we get a little bit more detail here for you. The Queen of Wands, the High Priestess, and the King of Wands. So yeah, definitely for those of you who were like maybe dealing with a spouse or a partner or somebody like that, or somebody you're interested in, like in that kind of sense, for sure with that King and Queen of Wands coming out, that's definitely a strong message for if it's that kind of a person. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's someone close to you in that kind of way, like someone who you have like that sort of soul connection with them. For a lot of you, probably a romantic partner or something like that. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case though. But with the King, Queen of Wands, and the High Priestess here, we're really talking about you need to focus down on the positives and focus down on the good, right? Like, make sure you're making a good case for, you know, the positive things, like the things that will appeal to them and appeal to their passions and desires, right? Use your intuition as best you can, right? You don't want to kind of just beat them over the head, because people, you know, I'm like this too, where you get kind of like it feels like someone's forcing you down a path, or they're telling you like you're dumb for not doing this. You can really make them kind of go, no, I really am not going to listen to you now, right? That can really kind of drive them back. So just try to appeal to their passions, try to appeal to the things that they really want in their life, while also appealing to their practicality. Try to be as positive as possible here and show them, you know, that this is probably a better path for them, or at least not as risky a path and more of a stable one. So let's take a look at your oracle card, wrap this up, get your oracle message for you. Hopefully this has been helping you out. Hopefully this has been resonating with you, Capricorn. And if it has, let me know with a like down below. And if you really like it, you can subscribe too. So let's take a look and see what your oracle message is, Capricorn. We got the Koala Spirit saying Spirit has a plan. Number 35. Let's take a look. What do we have here? All right. The Koala Spirit. In nature, the koala moves slowly through the branches of the eucalyptus tree, leisurely chewing the leaves, reminding us that life is not a race or a competition. Chasing around after every distraction can keep us from recognizing that we have all we need, and that Spirit will always be there with gifts to sustain us. You're being asked to trust by moving slowly, with faith and abundance that is everywhere surrendering to a power greater than yourself. You will be able to experience the manifestation of your desires. As you take your time enjoying the riches available to you right now, sitting peacefully, you begin to radiate the joy and abundance you seek. Spirit is here to help you discover happiness, pleasure, and contentment, all gifts that are yours now and in the future. Have faith and trust in Spirit's plan for you, and know that you are loved and cherished. And I feel like you can apply that certainly to this person for sure, to tell them to take things slow, not to try and do like anything hasty where they might be trying to advance themselves, maybe financially, especially too quickly, and kind of, like I say here, like the Koala Spirit saying, is like focus on like being the positive and being the good and being the sort of radiating what you want to see in the world so that it comes back to you, right? And kind of show them that way, that like if they put in the hard work and that's what they're radiating is hard work and effort, then that's going to come back for them. They're going to receive the positives. They're going to receive the fruits of their labor here if they do things like that, rather than trying to take shortcuts or trying to get rich quick or something like that here. Instead, focus on taking things slow and enjoying the journey rather than the destination. So I hope that's helped you out. Hope that resonated with you, Capricorn. If you want to help out the channel, like I say, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign videos too, and I'll see you in the next video.